was going to have this agenda, talk about project definition, choose sprint software. So we kind of did that, talk about the sprint schedule, and then what are the first like dev priorities if we had time. Well, so here for things that are already delivered, this is just that folder that I basically already showed you, tech, and then this is supposed to be Envision from Windows Envision. Cool. That we just looked at. So one of the other things that people kind of get stuck on a lot, and honestly it could evolve forever, I'm just interested in going forward with whatever we got, is the words for like milestone, projects, campaign, causes, or whatever. You know. At the end of the day, all that matters though is that we have a leaf, we have branches, and we have a root. The root is the donor, it comes in, got to come in somewhere, and it's got a leaf somewhere. You know. And that's, and so I've been using donor and milestone, or giver and milestone, and then branches are really just groupings of leaves. And so, because the system's dynamic, it could be, you know, anything. But maybe to start with, we choose some words. Maybe that word is campaign, or cause, or project, or who knows what. I'll let you guys nail it down, but from this other perspective, this makes perfect sense to me. Does that make sense to you guys? With the leaf, the idea of the leaf.
Leaf, branches, and?
Yeah.
And root.
And root.
Right. Cool. So going back to this folder, it's been a little bit updated since going over at Wojtek, but not really a whole lot. I did kind of break out the roles into their own spreadsheet, just so I think it tells the story a little bit better than when I was going through all the user stories. There was just too many, got confusing. So the idea is that we have unregistered givers. Those are people that we know nothing about. They're just an address, and they just donate. But perhaps we don't give them other privileges of like creating a project or being a reviewer if they're so anonymous. You know?
Yeah.
Although,
So we can never give them any else.
But I mean, in the sense they're still not anonymous. They have some address with which they interact. So they are basically registered, but we have no other information about them other than identifier.
Mm-hmm. And so these are all the things they can do. I can donate to any Giveth project. I can delegate to any registered giver I want. I can opt out of my uncommitted, or meaning pre-committed or unused donations from a project. I can, so that's like things that aren't pre-committed. We were like, perhaps you can still opt out and pull that money back, right? So these are all the permissions kind of capabilities that this person would have, which is actually a ton. It's pretty much most of the functionality. And we were talking before, we actually considered not doing anything on the registered giver side and just focusing on the MVP on just this. But, and that still might make sense from like the functional standpoint, but I agree that it makes so much of everything that's cool is really in this registered experience that I think it makes sense for the UX to start solving.
How do we identify the user that if he's not logged in? How do we know that this is the person that's donated and wants to take that money back?
Because he basically is logged in. So
They are.
you have to, in order to interact and send money, you have to have an address like MetaMask or something. And here you have like a unique identifier, which is your address here.
That's you.
Okay, right.
That's
So
you.
yeah.
And the money will go back to
So
them.
like when you, if I switch an account to a different account, right now I'm someone else. But like, yeah.
Mhm.
So this is my identifier,
Mhm.
basically.
That's your minimum.
And that's unregistered giver here.
Understood.
And so here's as a registered giver delegate. These are the delegate capabilities and permissions. Those are the ones that came to my head when I was listing them out. This is as a project owner, I can like add and edit my project details. These are all the permissions and things that for the project owner. And then as a registered giver, I can approve milestones, reject, approve milestones, completion. All it kind of gets the details here, right? This was kind of created off of this one right here, which is really was the kind of the original interview with Griff right after we did the Berlin thing. And so we started off kind of just like listing out all the things that we could do as an unregistered user. It's meant to be very story-like. Like I'm an unregistered giver and I want to see a list of causes where each list item allows me to easily see the name of a cause. See a list of causes where each item allows me to easily see the total amount donated from me. All these like things, right? Kind of exhaustively in that user story format. So that was this thing. I can scroll. Okay. That was this thing right here. And then the green ones were, I sent this back to Griff and he did this green thing and put in the things that he thought were most important. at the time. And then on the registered giver tab, there is all the things that have to do with those capabilities, but listed kind of item by item. So I'm a registered giver and I want to do everything an unregistered giver can do. I want to log in safely as a registered user. Maybe that doesn't apply anymore. I didn't think about how the address, is already a login. And there might be some other ones in here that, make little sense. But it was the point is that it's like, yeah, we did capture exhaustively like everything. And when it comes to most projects I've ever been on, I rarely have seen this much documentation. So we're not starting with nothing, but then it's not until really the vision is like clear in your head, and then it's like this, that things don't happen. But just so you know that you have this for reference to be inspired or to
I follow.
Yeah, or to kind of riff off.
A little bit sideways. One big question I have is, what happens if you lose your private key in Giveth environment? Like, will we also think of a system how to maybe transfer to a different or like do some recovery or something?
You're responsible for yourself. If you
The only way to do that is to log their private keys.
Yeah.
And which I don't.
No, but like something like I can say, oh, I'm a this person, and I use this private key, but I also use this private key and this private key.
Oh, like linking all their accounts.
Linking multiple accounts. So when you lose one, you like, oh well.
But then you would have the only like so you the idea is that if you lose your private key, but you've donated funds, but you want to cancel that fines or something.
Oh well, that's gone. Like that's okay.
Okay.
That's fine. But like maintaining your identity, even if
I've donated to this.
I've donated to this, even though I no longer use this key.
So like the metadata
because it got stolen or it leaked or like I don't have it. And, like that's something
the other problem comes more for the project owner who's actually gonna get the funds out. That I don't think that's a problem for the donor because the donor already gave that money.
But more just
so
stats wise, like if you want to see what your history is, and it's that like many people have multiple identities, multiple addresses, so having all that stuff. A lot of it needs to be stored off chain anyways in some type of database
or even in the blockchain. You can even do the blockchain say, okay, I'm using for Giveth, I'm using these accounts and this is me.
Right.
And I've added one more account, so yeah, this is me as well.
Right. But I don't know, I guess an argument against the blockchain is like I feel like the blockchain should be for critical information because it's so expensive and I don't see any that's just like a useful thing as far as a user experience, but it's not critical.
But I would like to raise this as a point because that's something that UX has to solve.
Right.
Since we have no recovery for your account. Okay, once you lose it, you don't have it.
That's the whole idea behind the whole thing, right?
But I think he's just saying some way to link your accounts together. Whether you lose
link
it,
your accounts together?
some people may want to, some people may not want. Some people want to be like, oh, I have multiple different addresses, you don't know.
And I mean, it is a problem where sooner or later we'll encounter. Someone will come to us, hey, I've lost my private key, I have this running. What can you do for me? We'll say nothing right now because we can't do anything, but maybe that's something that we should think about and find a way. But okay. Sorry, that was off topic.
That's good. Probably going to do some Q&A, and one of the answers will be, for this at this point in time, we cannot help you if you lose your private key.
Yeah, I think that's the idea in general, right? I mean, this is what here in Maitoa and all those people always tell everyone, you're responsible for your own stuff.
Right, but they are different in the sense that when you...
You're not collecting information.
I mean, you're not... No, but your account only basically holds your money.
Yeah.
Whereas here in this case, it also holds... For example, you're now a manager of a campaign. And when you lose this key, the campaign basically is gone.
So what
that's
you
it
mean
for the campaign.
It's not a private person or a donor. What you mean is, for example, a delegate that is responsible for a cause.
I mean, anyone. When we solve it for one entity, we solve it for all the others. But like I do think
Logins.
we need to find.
Just log in.
But that
You need
has to be
understand.
on chain, right?
Yeah,
I don't know how the
exactly,
contract
exactly.
exactly how they're written, but to do anything with a campaign or whatever, you have to be listed as
Yeah.
a registered owner, right?
Which would be
But
possible
we
if
could-
we
we
had
could
login.
only-
We could change ownership. We could add a function to the
Yeah.
contract to allow that.
Right. But if you lose your private key, you can't change ownership because only the owner presumably can change ownership. So you need to have a multi-sig or something on that campaign, multiple owners.
Interesting.
And I mean the idea of having login was, as far as I understand, just linking it with LinkedIn account or something like that. Basically, just to add more information to that anonymous address.
Exactly.
And prove that you eventually you're sending money to a person which you might know and you want to find out something about them.
Yeah.
What they're working on and what they're like.
And I think also that helps build a reputation that we want to kind of,
Which was another topic here.
incentivize people to start building a reputation.
Has there been any talk on that reputation-wise? Any ideas?
Not a ton yet.
Like,
I think
I didn't know
we're
some
waiting
city-
for the what is the
Colony.
is it colony or isn't it Uport
Oh,
for a reputation
Yeah.
oh, you can use
Or-
external.
or
Is it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a token-based system?
the other one.
something like that.
Yeah.
So
Colony was one, then something with A as well. Our
Aragon?
Aragon? No.
Aragon is on it. Sorry.
No, it's governance. So, no.
Okay. Governance.
But reputation, I think, has a lot to do with, and every time I talk about Giveth, actually this comes really high on my pitch about the reputation because I think we're really heading into that direction as well. And I think one of the drivers that is going to bring people into this thing is it's going to be that trend around the reputation, right? I'm a reviewer of these important projects. I want to be, a delegate, or I want to be. I think this is part of the driver into this platform eventually.
So I had this idea along the same thing. I think it's pretty killer. All right? I think my first good idea to Giveth was calling people givers instead of donors, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's like the guy
Which we
came up
follow.
with the Giveth thing, with the Giveth button, all right? So this is the other winner. So what if we build our reputation on milestones themselves? So it's like, okay, you want to join Giveth, you complete a milestone. If you complete so many milestones, you can be a project owner. You can get like project owner privileges. And if you complete so many milestones after that, you could be a reviewer. Or if you complete so many milestones for that, you could be a campaign manager or a cause manager. But basically by incentivizing people like to use milestones or kind of use the system is what builds in the reputation like over time.
It's a really nice idea, but I think you have to narrow down the scope right now, and not build on top of it, because then we're gonna think of a beautiful and perfect system, but we're never gonna be able to build it because the scope's gonna be so huge actually.
Counting the number of milestones is going to be part of the system no matter what, right? And figuring out who can be a reviewer or a delegate or a thing, it's like already part of it, right? If you're registered, and that's one thing that we have to decide, but essentially some people are going to have reviewer privileges and some people aren't. Although some people have suggested maybe there shouldn't be that. Maybe everyone should have all the privileges, like all of us. That kind of scares me a little bit. But yeah, so
The first thing.
this is just the other idea of like, okay, yeah, instead of like giving people like a point system or like, we could also do that with a number of donations or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point is to try to get people to accomplish things via milestones. That's what we want to brag about. Like, look at all these things that happened in the world, right? And so if we can use that as, whatever we can do to incentivize that is kind of like the goal. And if you
So
can't
that's
even
like
become a
a
reviewer until you've completed a milestone, that's one more milestone that our system has, essentially.
I mean, it's like Stack Overflow. You create your account. All you can do is post question or like post answers.
Mm-hmm.
You can't add images into your thing because you first need to build your reputation, and only then you can add images. You can do that.
The thing is, it's a little different. I mean, sure, you can build that in the UI, but there's nothing stopping someone from just doing it on the back end. You can assign whatever you want on the contract as a reviewer. Any address. It doesn't have to be.
Really? So there's no way to
I can
stop
just-
the review from going.
No, anybody can call the contract and make whatever code they don't have to go through our UI at all. Our UI is just an easy to use interface to the code, but like I can make calls straight from the command line to register contracts, approve them, cancel them.
Which is also the original aim and the original goal, that our UI is open source, so you can just fork it, you can use it, you can deploy the contract yourself and use the very same logic for your system.
Right.
And also, like, you can directly interact with the smart contracts. You can directly verify things yourself if you want, stuff like that. It's the core design.
I remember, I never liked that though. But I guess
Blockchain is like a totally different way of
I know.
thinking.
Into Web 2.0 over here.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know, I like the idea of building a culture around like just like some people do around like moderators, you know, but finding what works for us. The idea of just like building a system and helping people that are going to use it appropriately sounds a little bit like
Maybe you just that incentivize.
A what?
Yeah, sure.
like dreamlanding to me. It's like all the people are going to start celebrating Earth Day right now. Everybody get out of your house and scream, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." You know?
So you meet what? Can you say the computer again, please? I didn't get it.
So we're trying to like the idea of like network effects or mass things. It's like, of course I love them, right? But they don't really seem to work that well. And so, but what has worked is like things like Stack Overflow. Not that I want to follow Stack Overflow's model, but the ones that I have seen work seem like they have a Wikipedia. Not that I want to follow Wikipedia's model, right? But they have some sort of control, some sort of centralization over the community at least. So even though everything we're doing is open source, you know, being a giver or being a donor, I thought at the time, I thought that we would be able to maintain some sort of like metadata control over like, okay, this is especially good donor, so go to them. Or this person, you can't donate, you can't give to him anymore because he broke too many rules, you know, or some sort of, obviously we're going to try to keep this free as possible, but I thought there was going to be some culture.
I mean, you can do that because you can show the information, but you can't stop people interacting with it outside of our system.
Gotcha. So maybe that would be enough in some ways.
Why is
I feel
As long
like
as we
that's
don't
also
endorse it,
I've
we don't
just-
sponsor it.
Right.
one question? Why is Newport never mentioned in any way?
Someone just
What?
mentioned
What?
that.
Yeah.
Newport.
Yeah.
Because this is actually, this will be the LinkedIn of the blockchain world. Because this is a reputation and identity system. And I really like their description on the website.
I mean, Griff is discussing about it, and he says, "Yeah, we will use it."
Because
think
they even take
also
what's
said
here as entities. Like it's a Uport is an open source software project to establish a global, unified, sovereign identity system for people, businesses, organizations, devices, and bots. So, just
It is.
It is, yeah.
It is planned. The integration with Viewport.
okay, because
But
everybody's
it
just
doesn't
talking
exist.
LinkedIn.
It doesn't
No,
exist.
no, we actually
Like-
did mention Viewport before.
Oh,
So, yeah, I was thinking that on the metadata, essentially, we would just have kind of like links, you know, like key value links. It's just like, okay, you're a person, add some links to yourself. Maybe that's YouTube or Slack or LinkedIn, or this is a milestone, add some links. Maybe that link is to an S3 resource on Amazon, or a picture of a contract or a video of you on YouTube that you doing something real or something. But and so this, it sounds like the integration would just be a link, you know, it's like, oh, here's this person's Viewport link. Oh man, look at that status. That's
Or you can pull. It's all going to be. I mean, I don't know exactly Uport, but in general, it would all be on blockchain. So you just pull from their contracts and display it in your app. And
it would be an
then
address.
profile.
For me, this is a social network. That's what you're building. You're building a social network for the nations. So you need to build your profile, and then you basically do not posts, but you do campaigns, or you do reviews, or you do that, or you do this.
That's linked to the point of building a community around it.
Yeah, but like you need to build your identity if you want to do something other than just throwing money or posting. Yeah, I'm on toilet right now, which is, I mean,
Okay.
not the same.
Interesting. Lots learned in this discussion.
But for me, the key is to be able also to guarantee that this identity is not lost.
But to me, it makes more sense what you said about, like, you know, I have multiple wallets, and I could be donating from all of them, from some of them, and I should be able to have multiple wallets going into
I mean,
my account.
ideally, I would like to have it almost as a multisig for person,
Just a one.
where you say, okay, I mean, if someone really steals this wallet, which happens, you know, like there's just virus in your computer, they steal your wallet, they now.
Okay, so how would that work? Like if I go in and then I want to be part of Giveth and I have all these 4 wallets, so I go into a place that allows me to, okay, this is my wallet, this is my wallet, this is my wallet, and this is my wallet. And that information is captured and then now identifies me with that, right? And then anywhere in the Giveth system, it actually goes and checks that. But where is that information going to be? Is that going to be on-chain or off-chain?
I think so. Yeah.
Off-chain.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess also I'm not familiar with Uport, so I'm not sure how they.
So because
they might be planning on handling multiple
that's a question.
Registration after all.
I don't know these things. I'm just a Web 2.0
And
person.
as soon as we
so
start having things off-chain, then that means that we have to have an infrastructure for that.
Right.
Right? So
Yeah.
we need to cater for an infrastructure which we have not
There's no.
planned for.
But do we want stuff off chain? No, we don't.
That's what we're discussing.
You
That's what
do.
we're
You
saying.
don't want. You only
If
want
there
critical
are
things
certain
on chain because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
So only things that are
We can't
pertinent
have
to
it.
deals to like your ETH and stuff like that is you want on chain. Like related to like statistics about you, like there's no sense paying $3 to store that
Yeah.
on chain, and you have to update it every time you donate to one campaign. So you have to integrate
So
the two.
Oh,
It's
that's
just
a
tricky.
big question that we need to kind
Yeah.
of discuss. Like, how much
we'll discuss it with this guy.
on-chain and off-chain.
Yeah, you guys. I think somehow we gotta like do some sort of like requirements gathering or
Yeah,
discussion points.
I mean, that's
No, but also with both Griff and Jordy, because they have different opinions on
That's why we got
on-chain
this
and
great lead
off-chain.
over here though. It's accountable.
On
So
chain
what we
and
could do is
off-chain.
like set a milestone to like something decided by or something like that, and then you could like basically that way we can look forward to hey, this thing is I don't want to be like these things are locked down. It's not necessary, but essentially everyone's got to be able to get their feedback in, and then
to scan another keyboard.
not and be
To
able to
identify wallets.
yeah.
I think what you'll need to store is going to come out of the
Exchange.
UX designs. We'll
Oh,
figure
so
out
this,
exactly
when you
I
go
mean,
to
my-
what we need, and then we can figure out once we know exactly what we
other
need,
person.
how to do it, where to put it.
What I would
That's
love
why
to,
it's
I mean,
so
obviously you do it the way that you think it should, because I am not going to tell you what to do, but don't have a limitation as to how this should look like. Just put it all out there and have these buckets that you said, okay, that's nothing that is going to be done between now and the end of the year, but this could be something that could be done in 3 years when, when we have this sort of requirements already met. But just because it's not there right now, don't stop talking about it, but list it. Put it in that one day to be bucket.
Dare to dream.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is totally back to these documents that are over here. And if you wanna, you've already gone through these two days, so I don't know how interesting it'll be. But these, RJ, have you looked at these before? Probably.
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is this donate button that we already have, and so having a donate button that we can put on other people's websites is like another big important part of the UI, is Griffils, and so we want to be able to like give them some sort of like widget or JavaScript to kind of do that. This is the one that's kind of already created. This is the real screenshot that's on this wallet campaign Giveth.io. And if you click that, it opens up this guy, and this is the hover event for that thing. And then if you this is the mobile view of it. Then when you click it, it opens up MetaMask automatically, and I think it's all ready to go to donate 25 Ether to us. And I think that's how it works. That's how this one thing works today. And so we wanted to do something else exactly like this, but maybe not with this little triangle arrow, which means that it would have to be placed in a specific spot. But imagine you're just like, yeah, here's this JavaScript, put it on your website, and it will do this essentially. If they don't have MetaMask, it opens up. It just gives them the address essentially, or it says install MetaMask. There's some more docs on that. So that's what these screenshots are all about. This is, sorry, I opened this once. So this is pretty much just a copy of that in 2D wireframe format. But if the MetaMask is already there, Giveth is enabled. If it's not there, then there's a message like, hey, you can send it directly to this, or you can add MetaMask, register for MetaMask. Pretty straightforward. Let's see what this guy is. So maybe this is kind of like the confirmation screen. It's like, oh, what if it said like thank you back in like different languages, or I changed like languages or something like that? I don't really know. Some sort of like, hey, thanks for doing that for us. Why is this over here? It's just language in the down level. Opens, click the MetaMask ownership here on the browser screen. Why is this still here? Oh, this. Oh, you still. I think this is what it's saying. Like if it says thank you, you still have to confirm over here. And so essentially these dialog boxes might be competing with each other. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea. Just call it out. So here there's the unregistered flow. And so this is going to include all the things on here. Was the idea. I'm not sure what these Y's are. These are just added. So maybe I guess they're talking about the wireframes, but who knows? Maybe it's actually talking about Satya's stuff. And so the unregistered giver, there's all these things kind of go in order. This one was kind of, we had the idea very much of having projects. Things were projects and projects had milestones. And I think for a while we flirted with the idea of getting rid of the projects altogether because Griff was like, I was telling him how we can't do like campaigns and causes and everything, let's just do projects and milestones. And he was like, no. And then he was like, okay, let's only do milestones. I was like, whoa, that's too much. He's like, it's following the same principles that you just laid out for me. I was like, all right, maybe, But in trying the idea out for a couple weeks in just discussion, it's like people couldn't get it. It's like people think of milestones being within projects. So even though it would take down the layer of the MVP, it'd be easier, perhaps technically, would that be one little grouping you don't have to have? From the little I've kind of just tested it with talking with people, it's like they don't get it. So.
But also, it means that you make a relation between things, right? So if you only have milestones, you cannot see the scope of this particular initiative, right? So you want to support it, but you don't see the beginning or the end.
Right. All the other charity sites use like a project, kind of a mentality with like goals or something in it. So maybe it's better.
I mean, it's something a person from regular work can relate to, really, because that's their idea of charities. Some person is running a project and.
It's like it though. It's like maybe charities should be more milestone focused. But
yeah, absolutely. Oh, I agree, absolutely.
But like I said, when we tried it out, it didn't seem like it was working. Give it a shot. The registered giver has a lot more of the attempts of like trying to go through I think there's the review process here, and then maybe like the milestone approve process or something. But essentially, I was thinking at the time that there actually might need to be another contract along with the milestone. You need a contract that's just for sending the request or just the request of approval. And so there's I'm like ready for a review or something like that, and so I send a request to a reviewer. Let's see, like what a review request. So we create a project and select a reviewer. So this is Sanjay, we're creating a project over here. Select a reviewer and select somehow. At the time, I was just thinking we needed to search between approvers that we like thought were good or something, but just put a custom address in here. I'm not really sure. But at some point, it has to be selected and has to be able to confirm that, yeah, I'm actually will be a reviewer of this thing. It's kind of this conversation piece. And then when you review the percent,
you could say the same person either. Reviewer and set up another identity for something.
Yeah, another wallet. But the same
no
person.
way to
But that was the first
So-
Sasha's feedback.
maybe if you were like a reviewer, you would get like a completion request. And
If I
basically
put
say,
your name
these
and
are
you and
completion
I
requirements.
agree that
Now
we're
here's
just going to take this money.
evidence
Or I
that
just
they
create
are.
two addresses.
Do you
What do
approve?
you create?
Do you reject?
So
or
the
do you
idea
send
was
it
to
in
use
line?
the reputation system.
Right.
So I mean, we can't prevent it.
Kind of
Really.
conversation
Right.
piece.
Yeah,
But,
it's
We can filter.
I don't want to go
over time.
over
And
all of
reputation
them,
tricky.
but
Just
just so you
send
know,
that out like
let's
I
see
can
here,
just
I
put a
guess.
bad review and like I never
Under
interacted with you. Just, like your
And
reputation goes down.
that was kind of it. I don't know who moved this. Oh, Grace, you made this.
Oh,
Give it UI designer project out.
okay.
From
Ooh, looks like some good. Oh, this is kind of white paperish, huh?
It's all kind
Oh,
of
wait,
wicked.
challenge.
Take it out.
No,
challenge.
This is an eternal attempt to kind of put some words into a paper
wants to do it.
in the.
Use case number 1. Nice. I love it. Cool. I don't know if this is either. Oh, so this is from Grace. Ooh. Beginning of a document here.
Oh, 37. No, it was 37 pages.
Oh, did I screw it up?
No, it's blank. It's completely blank.
37 pages to come. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much the whole shebang that I know, plus really Satya's work that we did kind of based on some of this stuff. But I don't want you to feel like we were sending you in there like half talk with nothing. It's like actually.
No, I get the. I like his idea that there should be a place in the app where you sort of take action on things that require your action.
Yeah. So here's the home view that.
And it shouldn't be just like a notification badge, and then you get a pop-up and then you do whatever with it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So the solution that I came up with that, which I don't think will be the solution because basically I wrote all these requirements down and I was just like, what is the simplest way I can solve these UX-wise possible? And I don't have a whole lot of creativity. But and so this idea was like kind of using the same list item concept, like kind of component-ish or whatever. But the idea is that these are actually like homepage things. Like if you go to your homepage, you have your review projects, you have you can like search for projects, you create a new project, you have your own projects, maybe your own donations. But the thing is that these things, one thing I liked about this is that they could be like components that are easy to replace. So let's say we create a new functionality. Cool, it's like just add it to the home screen. It's just another thing that goes in here.
So what would happen if you go to review projects? You're just going to see all the projects that you need to review.
Right, yeah.
So these are just the places, really.
Exactly. Just like different screens that have different lists.
So these can be tabs, whatever. If we had something like that.
Yeah. And then in this idea, the idea wasn't put like pictures here, but just have like some really like big icons. It's like, okay, something that's like really weird or something like that. But this is kind of, something kind of kindergartner about this. This is not a very sophisticated experience by any means, but it was...
we had nothing for it.
Yeah.
It was really
Exactly.
And as you can see, I used my very high-tech Google Drive to make all these things. I was going to try to do something else fancier, but it was annoying me, so I just like,
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think it's necessary in the first step. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't need to bother with the visuals. But I guess, Sketch, that's what Satya was using. It's so user-friendly app, such a user-friendly application that you can just do it very, 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 very quickly and come up with a very nice prototype, visually nice prototype. But again, all you can do in Envision is to link sort of link pictures to pictures.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't have a problem with that.
The other thing here was so there's like the name, the description, which is like expandable, but there's like this other data, which is kind of like to be determined. I think this might be what Satya was getting at, like the percentage or the actual ether, right? But let's say we basically want to communicate as easily as possible all the time, whatever view you're looking at. If you have any ether in here, just be like, yes, this is how much ether you donate to this sort of thing. Or so maybe percentage is better. But basically, from a list item, you kind of get as much as possible,
But let me ask you.
Does that make sense?
Let me ask you something. This is something that really just gets me very confused.
Okay.
So I have a project and I need $5,000 to create that project, right? So I create my project and today the ether is at $200 per ether. I make my conversion and I have 20 ethers of whatever.
Yeah. 180. But then
Exactly. Okay, but there's that volatility, right? So, okay, so I put my 25 ethers, let's say, of my project, and then it says, okay, so I'm now, let's say, you go with the ether amount. So I have received 10, I have received 15, and then, kind of, not percent. Okay, so it actually, the goal is 25, and I've received 5, 10, 15, blah, blah, blah. If I have that into a percentage, then it will probably, so it will still be based on that goal, but I could reach my $5,000 idea with only 10 ethers because it has gone up.
Right.
Or 10.
or down, or exactly, or down, or I need actually more than that. So that's where I started getting a little, when I thought about it, it's like, oh my God, how did you, I started
So
appreciating
the person is going to ask for
complexity.
But you always
$5,000.
have the same value behind it or not.
No,
But in Ether.
no,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
in
Ether,
Ether,
yeah,
yeah,
not
Ether,
in
that would-
fiat currencies,
Yeah.
but in Ether. That's why we work.
you start in principle,
On the
but
milestones, you have Ether, not fiat, right? So,
So, I mean, the
That's the
way
game.
around it, in my opinion, is not to solve it now. For now, work in Ether. But like, as Griff said, ask people who, like Coinbase or something, can you integrate maybe your system into ours or like help us with it? And as people donate, you maybe can choose, oh, I want directly my Ether to be converted right away.
yeah. Because
So that
in
they're
the
storing
end,
cash or
they
whatever.
need-
So
Storing it
the
or-
problem with this is that money is locked for a certain period of time, which is that's the real problem with this delay between approving. Putting it for review and approving the milestone. That's
Right.
this time frame. It probably should be shorter than other time frames. Like usually have a week or something, but a week in crypto time is very long. It could maybe be 2 days. In 2 days.
Up, down. Yeah.
I mean, if you're not like, there's like 5 days in a year that are really crazy, like, where it goes like this, but the rest is, like it drops a little, it raises a little. So maybe this could be a easy, lazy workaround to just shorten the time frame for approval. Because this auto conversion is definitely the way to go, like in an easy. And an easy way, because I have the feeling, as soon as it's dollars, you stop thinking about it. But as long as it's cryptocurrency, because there are speculative assets, it will always stay this way. Like everybody until there's this thing, and they get into the space, everybody becomes trading minded.
Obsessed.
Everybody installs Blockfolio on their phone, and they start checking it compulsively, and it's happening with everybody who enters this. And it's just
Most people.
yeah, I'm talking about 99%, I think. Really, it's like it's just such a draw, because money is so scarce for so many people that this. I mean, it's fun to let it.
The thing I hear from Kenny every day is, do you know how much is my $800 now?
Yeah.
Oh, now it's 400. Now it's 450, so I'm gaining.
gaining.
I'm losing or something. But it's like 5 times a day.
Right.
Well, it's an argument, of course, because the people who create a campaign or whatever, they have to take money, like fiat money, out of it.
Well,
Of
the
course.
world runs in
So
fiat.
that,
Can I
once
speak?
again,
It runs in fiat money right now.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Unless you- So yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing, but going into this year, like here's another list item, and it's like, okay, what relevant thing can you tell me about how I've affected, this milestone or not that milestone? The other thing is that if you can opt out, so here it's like, here's a milestone, you donated this much Ether, but so much of it right now is not committed. You aren't going to sign to like a milestone yet. And so putting the ability to opt out and get that money back on the next level. So basically having the options on every view you can. Anytime there's something I'm looking at that I put money in, I want to like see it right away. And if there's a chance that I could take money out of it right now, to do it right away. At least that's how it
What's
works.
the thought behind that? Like allowing users to do that?
Do what?
Pool funds. Like as a project manager, if I see like maybe I wouldn't want to basically that's incentivizing me as a project manager to instantly commit money to something.
Precisely.
But why would you want to do
Why would you
Things change,
Why
like-
would you want to hold on to money if you're trying to do stuff?
because things come up.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, emergency, a fire happens, it burns something down. I need to pull money.
So I think that that's a totally valid use case, and then I hear that, and another thing people will tell me is just like, what if I want the money to like buy a car? So like in this one, it's like I want to save the whales. Just kind of make a milestone and buy a boat, right? And then maybe the evidence that I'm going to buy the boat would be like I found the boat, or I took a picture of the price of the boat, and then as soon as I put that up to whatever, I get the money, so I can actually buy the boat, right? There's like it's going to get probably scammed a lot, or especially the more this thing matures, but we can't solve everything. Maybe that's fine, right? But to me, and that's kind of how this other use case is, it's just like, hey, what if I want to do with that money or this with money? It's like, you're right, this isn't the best. But what this could be, I think, is the best for, not that it can't be used for these other things, is labor. It's like, hey guys, I'm going to go build this house. There's nothing here right now. But me and my friends, we're going to go build this house. Okay, now you can see there's something here. Here's the thing that's going to live in the house. You have that money that was in this account to get it out, you know. And you're like, that's where the use case works, I think, particularly well. It's paying for labor after it's accomplished.
But you don't
I
have
just don't see any like. There's. It's so easy to circumvent that reviewer process. Like it essentially has. Like it's so easy to scam the system. Like I don't know. I feel like it's just a thing of. Because like I can easily create either a reviewer and the owner of a contract. Like and other people can have no idea.
Right.
But you have to persuade other people that like this is what investing
Right.
into.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my point though. Like if that's the case, people need to invest in something they trust. So if they're doing that, why do they need to be able to pull out money? Like it seems like you would want to pull out money if it's like a riskier situation, but
when you mean pull out, I mean like
cancel my donation.
rolling back the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think the rolling out makes sense when someone else delegates your money, so that you can like revert
Right.
it.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
You didn't like that particular. You found out something about that cost that you didn't really like. And
But
so
even
that's-
then, like they can delegate it straight to a milestone, right? And then you can't roll out of this.
there's some period. There's like payment
okay.
period. or
That-
something.
you
that
always
makes
can
sense.
roll out. You can roll it out
So after right?
unless
For a certain amount of time.
for amount.
Okay.
But I mean, again, also the reputation we also were discussing beforehand. The reputation can solve all this, and then like the reputation will be decreasing over time, and
Right.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's a very unexplored area.
Right. Yeah, the reputation. It's like a tricky part.
And I think that's basically going to be the key to the whole thing is the reputation. How
Right.
this is going to grow.
And I agree.
Controlling those reviewers.
Yeah.
Right. Like, let's just control the hell out of the system. But
I remember when I first signed up for Airbnb, there used to be a process whereby you needed to take a picture and then an owner actually made a
rent your
Skype
house.
call to see that I was the person and check my picture, check the email,
Right.
my phone, everything. That was the very beginning before they could actually say that I was okay to rent a place.
Right.
Look how it is right now.
You know, Civic's trying to solve identities, but verifiable identities.
I did also this thing. Have you ever heard of One Name? It's
common as that.
Oh, well,
That's
Sorry, I was thinking something different. I had to know.
no, but it's One Name. So it's supposed to then the more names or profiles that you have set for yourself in different platforms, the better reputation you have. Because it's not just I profile in Facebook, but it's the same profile in Facebook, in Twitter, in Flickr, in Snapchat, and whatever. So the more the platforms are with the same profile, the higher your reputation is.
And is there any other verification process?
And then you put it in your platform and you say, if anyone thinks that I am not the person that I say, say something now, and then they have to have that in every platform. I don't know where that is going to go, but these are things that are happening as well. We'll see how that turns out.
Okay. So many challenges.
So, I was wondering
Yeah, it
whether
really is. Because like, oh, what are you going to do? Like, you're quitting your job to do what? I'm like, I'm going to go try this
to go
thing out.
some work
I
on
don't know
alpha
if it's gonna
software for
work.
the next
But
3 years.
if it does, it'll be very cool.
there you go.
There's just so many, like,
Give it a try.
Yeah.
One question
But
that
I mean,
wanted-
I remember when you like came in Berlin, you were like, okay, we're going to solve this very quickly.
one at a time. Well, I think
Yeah.
I was like, I'm definitely interested in it's like results for another results. It's like Sache did this thing, it's like great. That's real life thing, and then the other real life thing happens, and it just breathes blood or into this product. It's really just in our heads. A figment of our
Imagination.
imaginations. We're all carrying this thing, and it's so easy for these things to die. especially when the ideas aren't that good or you're not that into it.
It would be nice if we can have a discussion on scope. Like, what is the scope that we see for November?
I think, yeah,
For November.
Being like the first month of this election, right? I would call it November, October.
Like that.
yeah, I think it's going to be like iterative for sure. And basically, based on like every iteration, we kind of like narrow down on what we think is going to actually make it and what's actually the most important. So
It's probably going to be pretty limited.
yeah, that's probably what we've. Yeah,
You think,
I think who knows? Like it's
I think if we could get
the sad
basic
part is that
things-
some of the things that we're discussing and we're kind of like slowing ourselves down on are actually not the problem. It's like we just got to make a decision, go with something, you know. And then the real problems are making this usable thing that flows and works and is tested, right? And so
I'm afraid that for November, realistically, it will be really, really nice if we had an exact idea what we're building and like clickable prototype and maybe like and maybe like start a simple app. I think that's very realistically what we can have. We can't really have much more.
I don't see. I think there's challenges that are going to take time to think through before we can just put it out there.
if we use the version of if we start using these milestones ourselves, right? Like in the DAP right? We're able to get another version essentially of the DAP that we have, but a little bit more usable. And we can just get like one other good charity besides us to jump on board and be like, hey, we use the system and we got this either from it.
I think that'd be great for November.
Yeah, essentially it could be like that can be the
We were talking about this
I'm on it.
about the slave
Slavery
free trade.
But I have Usizo as well.
Or the
Usizo.
yeah.
It's perfect for it.
Yeah.
And so these the smart meters are being set to receive cryptocurrency, either Bitcoin or Ether, in South Africa in the very poor schools, so that people can pay for electricity. It's a project. It's there.
That's cool.
They're just waiting.
And it's
so much
already
better
crypto
than-
based.
And it's already crypto based.
Keep
Already crypto
I never
based.
got that idea.
Huh?
Normally,
What?
That's so much better than slave-free trade. I mean, at least
No,
I
but
think
that-
for what
but-
Giveth is trying to do.
It's because I am also part of that project, so I'm waiting. And I've been like, it's like, when do we put the project in? It's like, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. But this is like the first project that needs to go on.
Yeah, we could just handle a couple people through the.
I have a video, pictures, all the kids, the meters, and how they're everything.
and I mean I also met the guy who
And you met the
created it
guy,
as well.
exactly.
They have smart meters there?
Nice.
Smart meters.
Nice. I'm all about the energy and the smart meters. Nice.
Yeah.
How does
And
that
then,
work?
he makes a conversion, so the meters need to work to transform the crypto into fiat, and then calculate the kilowatts that's necessary to go on the meter according to that. So it's all done, and he has already the wallets incorporated, which makes the conversion. I mean, it's done. It's a proven project, and it just needs people to put ethers in there.
I think it's really proven, right? Really
How do you know who verifies that stuff though? Like who verifies that that it's actually paying for electricity? Or how do you know that address is actually paying for like what stops me from going down there and pretending like I don't have electricity and setting up an account?
Not a whole lot.
I think you're trusting.
Like that's
the,
the
you're
whole
trusting
like
the
Giveth
idea,
thing too. Like how do you know how can you verify that someone actually built an orphanage or like
It's a leap of faith as well. There's a
Same
component
when
of
you
that.
donate to any charity, right?
Yeah,
that's why I don't like donating to charity, and that's why I like a lot of these famous people set up their own charities because they want to know where the money's going, right? And they want to know where they can allocate it.
Yeah.
But like I feel like Giveth's big problem is like how can you verify that?
Yeah, another problem to be solved. First, we have to have
I feel like
verifiable
that's the
contracts.
biggest problem. Like how do you verify that people are actually?
What if it was just video? It's just like we kind of developed a standard of like, hey, if someone doesn't give you a video of actually doing this, you probably shouldn't donate to this milestone, or you probably shouldn't click approve the review on this milestone. You know? But then,
But what stops me from like grabbing a little kid on the street and giving them $10 and being like, hey, take this, go take a video of your house and like send it here. And
Nothing. I think that
human beings are just such shitty people. That's the problem. You can't trust anybody.
But that's the thing, that I think we will have shitty people that is going to exploit the system. But you know what's going to happen? First, it's not going to be for a lot of money, because I think we're going to have some kind of overview on that. And second, they're not going to be able to do it twice in the same way. And there's a reputation that's going to be built. But you start then different profiles. But honestly, I don't think that it's people that doesn't worry me so much.
Really?
No.
I feel like that was my biggest worry when he was telling me about Giveth. I was just like, well, how do you?
I think there has to be a.
That's what happened in Kickstarter, right? Like that's all Kickstarter is just like a bunch of spam con hires now. So.
Oh, is it? Is that what you're saying too?
So people, say that people are just making their spam artist livings off of these other charity things, and Giveth is trying to be the defense against that. So I added, but we can't, according to Griff, we can't solve everything. At least we can give more accountability than they have.
That's what you kind of
a little bit of a layer, right? It's like,
he's like I want to set up the platform. He's like, He's like, I have a vision of where I want it to go, but if it goes in a different direction, but it's still helping people, he's like, I'm cool with that.
People are like using our system to sustainably scan. That's actually a nice use case in itself. It's like, at least the system works that well. Now, what do we have to do to get the system to work a little bit better?
Make all that type of people use it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's maybe when you have like a third-party verification, independent.
And then you start creating the middleman again.
Right.
Kind of like
what
you say that you're getting rid of.
Right, but I don't know if there's any way to ever get away from that. Like somebody's got to verify.
I think there has to be some level of centralization in any case, at least at the beginning.
If we don't make it, I think if we just make it open though, when the group wants to, it's workable. Someone else can just jack it and make their own more centralized version of it, and maybe they'll have mods or only allow certain peer reviewers or have a login.
They will have a login.
Address, but you have to do it by their particular authentication.
Those
people will be more free than we are as Giveth, because Giveth has to look like we're so futuristic, or we're so in the hacker space that it's basically we're in a terrible position. It's like we're just ripe for throwing rocks at.
But it's it's really easy to just say, let's see what is not working on Giveth and make sure that we we put it in this way, centralize it, and it doesn't have that effect. So we are the first ones trying to kind of deal with all these problems, but we will fail.
Yeah.
On some
Giveth
of them,
2
right?
comes out, or Giveth X.
Exactly, something like that. I don't know.
Especially since all the source code is already open up.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you know what? It shouldn't stop us.
And
still
this is a problem or another. Is it a problem for us? Is the aim for us to succeed, or for us to deliver a platform or contribute to creating a platform that we do this? I think that's
it's number one goal for sure. And then number two would be nice to have a healthy community that actually does good. But I agree. Yes.
And I mean, if a mean to deliver that is to fail, and someone else does succeed. Okay.
Then in the end, yeah.
Exactly. So I think the DAO already do that though.
A lot of lessons learned, right?
Exactly.
So that's an evolution.
Yeah. Basically, recruit the use case. It was just and that's kind of what I tell people. I was like, yeah, I gave this money to this thing. It didn't work out. I got hacked. But then I got all my money back. So we're going to use those same principles to donate to people, but then have accountability and let people get their money back if things don't
To
happen.
be honest, people were warned, and that was the purpose of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was all experimental. It was always the disclaimer is this is experimental.
Yeah. At your own risk.
People get greedy, FOMO. Yeah.
All the guys that I saw, I read as but I put all my savings in here.
Yeah, well,
I took out a lot. I took out a lot.
Well, you got it back. So you're good.
Next time.
So, would it be also a good idea to talk about those naming conventions? We call so many things so many different ways.
Or should we talk with all about this? We all have the whole.
Like
Should
study
we-
discussion
should
and
we
then
do
we can.
some quick break?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes.
See
Yes,
how
let's
they're
go
doing.
Right?
I wish I took this document from my old work, but this badass product owner, hotshot dude that we hired, one of the first thing he did was come up with this like schedule for how to get stakeholders involved. It's like a schedule of like, I'll meet with the CEO and all these people to discuss, I think like big picture things, right? And then I'll try to come up with some requirements about how we're going to tackle some of those, and they'll like approve those. And once that happens, it moves over into like the development work, like the UX, to the front end, to the back end, or whatever that needs to be. I'd like to have something similar there. So it's like every 2 weeks, or every 2 weeks you guys are getting like a demo about like what's been done, and then on the off week, that could be a week where you guys discuss strategy or direction about like where things are going, and what we think we're going to have complete for a particular convention or something like that. Because like when we get to September, then we'll have an idea of like, okay, what do we really think we're going to get done by this thing? And it's kind of a strategy decision.
What's that?
It's a goal setting.
Yeah, exactly.
My mom wants to buy Bitcoin.
Does she?
But not just like, it is goal setting. It's like you have all kinds of goals. You have some goals are good. Like, in a year we want this, hopefully like in 6 months we want this.
Oh, she's gone through cracking?
It's just like, okay, what do we really want in a month? Let's focus on this. Sacrificing this.
Yeah, I like their. Have you seen their beta?
This was a thing.
I like that one.
This month.
Where is it? Here.
That sort of stuff.
Their
This bit, yeah.
their beta thing is this.
Don't have the chair. No, the chair's fine. The chair just attacked me. It's fine. Nothing
Their
happened.
beta is gorgeous.
It's Crypto Watch.
Ah, thank you.
Do you know Crypto Watch?
So you put it in this way.
Is that what it
Don't
says?
confuse the chair.
Crypto.ch.
This chair.
Where you get an overview
Yeah,
of
exactly.
many coins. And this is
Stable.
just the view for Kraken, and they directly interface, and I really love that interface.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is like
It feels
gorgeous.
it feels like the future of now.
I mean, like, this is what normal exchanges kind of look like, where you can set it up like this, and you can set like stop loss orders and limits and trailing stops.
Yeah, I don't know about all this.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
For you, it's much better. This is also nice. What's that?
This is like a real one.
Ah, like a real one.
This is like a real stock market.
Huh?
It's kind of like one of their exchanges.
Ah, I see. It's
Yeah, it's like gorgeous, right?
Mhm.
And there's so much stuff you can do. There's so much trading involved that you can do. It's just way better than crypto crap.
You can do a lot of things with the software.
Yeah.
Gnosis. Okay, there is a market that you will be able to do a lot of things.
Streaming. Is this on?
What?
We are
When did we start streaming?
always streaming.
Oh, what? You were
Always stream?
saying you wanted to record or stream, so I opted for stream.
Yeah, always stream. I just.
Will you
put your hand up for me?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Giveth time or it's siesta time?
Almost give it time.
Almost Giveth time.
10 minutes to give it time.
Are we streaming or no? Yeah.
We are, but we can. I mean, I don't know what's
How
up
many
with
people we have in the
Two. Hello, 2 people are watching.
People
We're just
say
deciding
hi.
if
Say
we
hi
want
to
to
the
continue
people.
streaming or not.
It's a cut on your here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna cut the feed for a second, have a break.
It was cutting your head. That's what it's- Oh God.
So what did I miss?
Did you have a good?
Yeah, it was easy.
How was it?
It was easy.
It was good?
I think there was a. Jody has a theory that there was this big hack yesterday.